What's going on, y'all? It's your boy SoDivine back with another video, and let's talk Nimona. This movie is just great. It's just a solid film. If you just love animation and you want something that's just going to catch your eye, this movie is that it. Like Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse took animation to a whole nother level. It's not that. It's not the greatest thing in the last 10 years of animation, but it's a solid film and it's really good. And I will say, unlike other animated movies, the themes in this movie is strong, and they stand by the themes and they will make you feel those emotions if you've been through it. If you ever been outcasted, no matter if it's through sexuality, through race, through religion, you will feel some sort of emotions from this film. It's such a good film from start to finish, and we're going to break it down. Before we talk about the themes, the story, the characters, and just the fun moments, let's talk about the animation. The visuals within this movie reminded me a lot of like a softer version of Arcane. Less dynamic, less detailed, but still amazing to look at version of Arcane. And if you haven't seen Arcane, please stop this video and go watch it. That show is just phenomenal. But the animation is still clean in this movie. And I will say, just the faces. I want to just do a whole gawk section on the faces of the characters. Nimona, the way her eyes light up when she's angry and she's punked out and she about to just go crazy in a fight scene, so cool. The way her teeth is when she's just talking and it's spiky and it looks all badass and got that dope feel to it, cool. When you look at Boldheart and he's just having a regular conversation with maybe his dude or just with Nimona, his eyes seem way more lifelike than other animated studios make eyes. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because I watch a lot of animated content and I can see the difference. But let me know if y'all saw any difference with the way these characters in this movie's eyes look and the way their facial expressions is. And when you look at the setting helps it out tremendously. I never seen a cyberpunk western before. And I've seen my fair share of animation. But cyberpunk western? That's super unique. And for them to jump it 1,000 years into the future to get to that cyberpunk place, because they could have easily made this whole story a western and it would have worked perfectly. But no, they did a cyberpunk western. But it's so unique that they combined those two aesthetics. Like, it's cool seeing knights walk around with swords while there's people with televisions and cell phones in their hand. It's just a different thing I haven't seen before. So I'm just looking at the background, enjoying all the things going on within this universe. It's not that many stuff to complain about with the visuals. And one thing I really want to say is her transformations was instant and seamless. I think I saw like a little bit of particles, like a little bit of smoke in between her transformation, like a little particle effect. That was cool. But her animations were just perfect. The way the animals looked, and you could tell that they actually thought about the process of, okay, this animal weighs that much, so it's going to crack the floor, like the scene with the whale. Like, they actually took, in fact, the physics of the animals. Because if you saw a lot of animated movies, sometimes they have shapeshifters and they just be turning it up into a giant animal and it doesn't affect the actual structure of the building. So just they actually thought about a lot when it comes to the animation and the story. This movie animation style is not the greatest and craziest in the world, but it's just visually interesting to enjoy. But let's now change gears over to the stories and the characters, okay? Because that's maybe my second favorite thing in this movie. Goldenloin and Boldheart as a character. Their relationship was honestly perfect. They is everything an animated couple should be. I wish more live action couples was written this good and acted this good. You can see Boldheart miss Goldenloin. He's wondering where he's at and how is what's going on affecting him and what does he think of him. Whenever there's a moment between them two, you can feel the emotional tension pulling them together and pulling them apart. It's really good on how their relationship is shown in this movie. And I just really wanted to specify that because that's something I really appreciated, which is a good love story. If you just take Nimona out of it, it's a good rom-com with just them two. But Nimonia's character, with her crazy, cool punk rock vibe, I loved every second. I wish I could just get a blooper reel of all the murder jokes because that was just hilarious and it kept me just laughing the whole time. But then when you just look at how wild and bombastic her character is, and then now look at her backstory of her just being lonely, taken advantage of just these fake narratives being built upon her, being called the word monster to the point where she almost killed herself towards the end of the movie. Not the sacrifice part with the gun laser, but when she almost stabbed herself through her heart. Just because she was tired of this. She's the epitome of, I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of feeling this way. And I felt that as a black guy who'd been through a lot of racial situations, I felt how she felt. I understood the emotion that got her to that point. So shout out to the writers on how well written these characters are. A movie about a shape-shifting girl with pink hair in a medieval cyberpunk world is so well written. And that's what I really appreciate. And I don't care if some people may say it's not. I think it is, and I really enjoyed it. But now let's move on to the final but my favorite subject, the themes in this movie. Now, I have a question for you. Is there any theme in this movie, out of all the various that you probably felt watching this movie, that you can actually put some relation to? It's a theme that you can relate to. You have a personal story on how that theme is represented in this movie. Because I want that to be shown. And type that in the comment section below if it's a theme that you can relate to. Like me, for an example. The theme of embrace your differences. There's a scene in this movie where Nimona is speaking to Ballister. And she's talking about how does it feel when she don't transform.
Honestly, I feel worse when I don't do it. Like my insides are itchy.
I felt that feeling before. There's been so many times in my life where I had to conform for the happiness of other people. Like, if I want to wear my natural hair a certain way, I can't because jobs will tell me you can't do that. That's unprofessional, even though this is how my natural hair just grows if I let it grow. But no, I must change my hair to conform for you. And it makes me so mad and irritated. And sometimes I have that itchy feeling that Nimona reference. And that's the power in movies like this, where it's a reflection of what real people go through. Like the scenes where she says she don't want to be called a monster. I feel like people of marginalized groups, people in certain communities like the LGBTQ community, if you are a certain race with certain histories, you know how it feels to be called a word that represents so much negativity towards you. I felt that in this movie. And I know this is a goofy, silly movie, but it's heavy themes in here that can really relate to someone who's been through it, especially Nimona. Or let's not even talk about her, Ballister. A guy who's the first knight who's not royal blood, who had to come up from his bootstraps, and even him still coming up, it took the Queen and Goldenloin to pretty much say, hey guys, he's good now, he's cool with us, he should be cool with you. Him coming up, he never even got the respect on his own. It took those other people to give him that respect that he already overly earned. That's reflection in real life. How some people come up from the bottom but still never get the respect that they earn and they deserve. That's why I love this movie. I love just the heavy themes and how they never hold back on it. Even one of my favorite themes of don't believe and question everything. It shows how corrupt their government and system is within that movie. How the counselor just kept lying and lying and lying all the way to her demise. And it's really a reflection to how governments and companies and people act in our real life. We all see the news about how this company has just came out to be corrupt, or a lawsuit against that government or this company. It's so much corruption within our own world. You can't but not relate to what happens in Nimona. And it shows you that you can't trust everything a system tells you. Their whole system was lying to them for thousands of years about monsters outside of this wall, to the point where whole generations lived within this wall and never left because of the belief that they was taught. Which is crazy, because I know in real life that same scenario could easily happen. People just blindly believing what a system told them without ever even thinking of, could they be lying? I don't want to get too deep on this animated movie, but wow, the themes that's shown is so amazing. And that's the point of these movies, to show us a spectacle, to show us love, to show us these deep, complex themes, while also being comedic, while also being beautiful storytelling, while also being beautifully written. That's the power of animated movies, because there's certain things that live action visually can do, like with this animation. Certain things live action can't do, like the facial expressions that's shown. And there's so many different things that live actions can't accomplish with these themes, because people is too busy focusing on the live action actors. And that's a wrap on Nimona. If y'all enjoyed this video, give me a like, comment, and subscribe. And answer my question, was there any themes in this movie that y'all can relate to or felt some sort of real life connection to? Because maybe I was tweaking out. I don't think I was. I really think that those themes was really greatly represented in this movie, and I wasn't just overanalyzing. But besides that, y'all, have a great day, and I will catch y'all on my next review.